I want to now show you a couple of live examples of closed and open body language. Now, I don't mean to pick on him because he is often lower energy, but Dr. Jordan Peterson, again, in this next clip, will exemplify the closed body language. He is sitting in his chair, not leaning forward, and he tends to keep his palms inwards to himself. So he doesn't always do this, but during this part of the clip, that's what he's doing. So I want you to contrast that with what Lewis does, leaning forward, showing his palms, and just see the notice in how you react to them.
It's already challenging. It's already fatally challenging, right? Life is the ultimate challenge.
We will die.
Yes, yes. And
so there is a challenge, yeah.
Yes, well.
And you can even see Lewis is speaking through a smile, something that we will continue to discuss. He's showing his hands, he's leaning forward, his eyes look engaged. It's not that Jordan Peterson isn't engaged in the conversation, it's that we wouldn't know it through his body language. So just continue to watch.
Uncertainty, fear, pain, all those
things.
Yes,
everything that goes along with suffering is a challenge. And
you see not a lot of life in his eyes in that clip. Just continuing, and I'll let this run out here.
It's the full challenge because it takes everything you have. And so part of the reason we disagree is because there are complex problems to solve. And then we also disagree because we're willfully blind.
You can imagine if you watch this with the sound off, it would look like he was not at all enjoying himself, wanting to be there. And if he wasn't saying things that people found interesting, he wouldn't have arrived where he is today, because his charisma in terms of body language is really not often there, at least when he's in these kind of interview scenarios. I want to now move to someone who I think is an exemplar of incredible body language. I'm going to be leaning on him a lot for this module because he really is fantastic, and that is Jay Shetty, as seen on the Lewis House podcast. Watch what is going on in his eyes, his hands, how he moves them to illustrate the points that he's making. We're going to talk about that in the future, but just watch the difference between him and what you might have seen in Dr. Peterson.
Yeah, good question.
Why do you escape from that?
So that's to be able to give yourself all the time, focus, and energy on personal growth and development. So we all know this, right? Anyone who's been, and I've been in multiple relationships before I became a monk. We all know this. When you're in a relationship, things slow down because now you're managing two minds. You're now having to give energy to another person. You have to give time to another person. You lose time, energy, and moments to invest in your own growth.
So you see, he allows his hands to move in and out. He will keep them pointed to himself as referring to himself, but he shows his palms. He points to the specific points that he's making on his figures. He separates this person versus the other person with his two hands to illustrate his points. Not only does that clarify what he's saying, but the simple fact of being open, the engagement in his eyes, makes him much more intriguing to listen to, regardless of what he's saying. So this is the direction that you want to be moving in your conversations, as opposed to that flat body language that can make you seem hard to approach and speak to.